EXP, what is up? Welcome to Attractors Power Training, featuring none other than the world-renowned Eric Worre. I mean, you guys are here because you crave growth. You want to take your business to the next level. You want to escalate your organization. You want to build a massive team, and you realize that being surrounded by greatness, being in the rooms with people that can give you the roadmap, give you the strategies to take your business to the next level and change your life is what it's all about. So I want you to congratulate yourself and clap for yourself because you made a commitment. You are here. Many people had the opportunity to jump on, had the opportunity to carve out the time, had the opportunity to say, yes, I want this. I want to grow. I want my 2024 to be the best year of my life and to make all my dreams a reality. And some people passed on the opportunity. Some people didn't make the commitment. Some people got distracted, but not you. So yeah, show some fire in that shot, pat yourself in the back, and make sure that you're ready, you're focused, right? So you did number one, which is, hey, you're here. Number two is you got to tame distractions. You got to make sure that you put the phone to the side. This is going to be powerful, jam-packed, and you do not want to miss any of it. So put your phone to the side, focus, and make sure you have a notepad, all right? So I've been working with Eric Worre now for over 3 years, and as a lot of you guys know, EXP is a company that allows us to expand globally, that allows us to work with other people, that allows us to build a network, to build a massive business that not only changes our lives, but changes the lives of many, many others and can impact even your descendants. Like, you can leave a legacy with this business. And when you become a power attractor, when you become a massive leader, when you become somebody that truly expands and truly escalates their business, man, it feels absolutely amazing. So when I joined EXP back in 2018, I started looking, who can teach me this? You know, I had never done this in my entire life. I had never recruited. I had never built an organization. I had never really been part of a network marketing business, if you will. And I was like, hey, let me look at who's done this, right? Let me look at the authorities in this industry. I bought 10, 12 books and started listening to some of them on audiobooks. I started listening and reading on some of these books. And I realized very, very quickly that there was one authority in this industry, that there was one person that knew the roadmap, that there was one individual that was absolutely changing people's lives by coaching, training, and mentoring those individuals, in our case, agents, to massive growth and success. And that was Eric Worre. So I started going deep into the teachings of Eric and the books. I went to his conference, GoPro, life-changing. It gave me the belief that I could do it. When I actually attended GoPro, it gave me the belief that, man, this was meant for me, right? And sure enough, from there, I become, one of his biggest clients. I've been in his mastermind, and I've been blessed to be mentored by him. And, today I am one of the top attractors, one of the top leaders in all of EXP Realty. So if you don't know me, hey, Carlos German here, and I'm an agent just like you. And I came to EXP with a small team of 6 agents. And today I have an organization in over 10 countries, all the United States. And thanks to Eric Worre, I've been able to pour into that organization and bring massive value and continue to grow to this day. Now, we have a lineup of other leaders that are here. Jay Kinder is someone that has read GoPro. And when I went to talk to him about GoPro, he was like, oh man, I got it right here. And he's been using the scripts, he's been using the dialogues, and he's been leveraging these strategies to grow. Tina Caul, when I invited her to be part of this, I was like, hey man, Brent Gove, myself, we want you to be in on this. And can you join us? Eric Worre is going to be part of this. She's like, what? With Eric Worre? Oh my God, I'm a huge fan. And sure enough, she came in. Brent obviously always pouring onto us when I brought this idea of bringing Eric Worre into EXP and doing this massive training. He's like, oh man, we're going to change lives with this. Absolutely, Carlos, what do you need? Right? And, here he is. And he is the reason this is happening today, because he said yes. You know, he told me, Carlos, we can do this. Let's do it together. Let's put this thing together. So, you know, today we've got absolute fire for you guys, and I will get out of the way and we'll start. Now, this is gonna go down fast and furious. We're gonna have world-renowned Eric Worre start off first. So we're starting with a bang, okay? But make no mistake, then we're gonna go into the leaders of EXP, some of the fastest growing badasses like Brent, Jay, Tina, Veronica, and they're going to go deeper into those strategies as it applies to EXP, as it applies to our company, right? So you do not want to miss any of it, all right? So we're going to start with Eric. Now, Eric is a world-renowned coach, mentor, leader, and he actually did this, right? He was in the trenches. He built an organization of over 500,000 people. All right. Eric Worre also knows what it's like to go through tough times and to rebuild and to do the grunt work. All right. So he's been in our shoes. He knows what it's like to build a team. He knows what it's like to deal with leaders. He knows what it's like to, you know, build something globally. And he's got proven strategies and tactics that you need to apply today. So without further ado, my friend, my mentor, my partner, Eric Worre, let's start with you, my friend. Let's go.
Carlos, how are you?
Absolutely awesome. You know, blessed to have you here with us. You know, first time that we were able to grab you and bring you into EXP.
Yes.
To bring massive value. So this is a special moment.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I'm happy to be able to chat with everybody, and congratulations for being here. It's funny because I've been around the network marketing profession for 35 years, but guess what I did the year before I joined network marketing? I was a real estate agent. So I sold real estate, and the only reason I sold real estate, and there was no opportunity like you have. I mean, who knows where my life would have gone had your innovation been available when I got involved 35 years ago, but it wasn't. Good for you. My journey went a different direction. I mean, the year before, I'll just tell you a quick story. I made $45,000 my first year in selling real estate, 1987, long time ago, before some of you were born. 1987, made 45 grand. Only problem was I spent 60, and I didn't save any money for taxes. You know, there was other closings that were going to happen for sure. I borrowed money. I did this, and I got myself behind, and it was January, and the guy who owned the real estate office was partners with my dad, and he said, hey, I think I have a way for us to make some extra money. So I got introduced to network marketing, and I, after a couple months, had a little bit of success right away, quit selling real estate at the time, and decided to go full-time inside of network marketing. And at the moment I quit and went full-time building a network marketing team, my whole organization fell apart. Everybody that I built for my first 60 days, all the money that I'd already spent, it all went away. And I went through this kind of school of hard knocks, and I'll tell you just the abbreviated story. The abbreviated story is this. I was full-time and struggled for my first 3 years in network marketing. I never had duplication. The people like Jay and Tina, Veronica, Brent, Carlos, these people that had these huge organizations, they had all this multiplication going on in their team. I never got that multiplication. I got addition and subtraction. I would add somebody, I'd lose somebody. I'd add somebody, I'd lose somebody. That's all. That's what I got to deal with. And I will tell you, what I learned early on is there's 4 things that we do inside of this business. And some of you do all 4, some of you do a piece of it, but I would encourage you to step into all 4. Number 1, we sell. You guys sell a property, you guys make a commission, you make some money, right? You know that part of your business, what you in this side, and you can make good money. You're dealing with big tickets, you're dealing with, I mean, what's going to happen to you guys? I'll talk about this in a minute. When the interest rates go down 2%, when interest rates go down 3%, I mean, the amount of money that's going to pour into your bank accounts is just absolutely enormous if you're prepared. So I'll just let you know up front, now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to build a team. You know, you might not be able to sell as much now in this weird environment, this very strange environment, people holding on to their low interest rates and other people like waiting to see what the timing is going to be, what's going to happen. You might not be able to move as much property right now as maybe you did pre-pandemic when interest rates were zero. But right now, you can build a team. You can prepare. And when the movement happens, and it will, whoever's most prepared, whoever has the biggest team, whoever has the best trained team is going to win. So this is a season actually that will work in your favor if you will work it in your favor. The season being, you're not so overwhelmed with selling right this moment. What I would encourage you to do is be overwhelmed with recruiting right this moment. Be overwhelmed with duplication right this moment. Be overwhelmed with building your skills and your leadership right this moment. Because then when the sales spigot turns back on, and it always has and it always will, you're going to be the one that gets the biggest benefit. So it's, you know, my good friend Harvey McKay, book's right here. Dig your well before you're thirsty. That's what that means. This is a season to dig your well before you're thirsty. You prepare. Les Brown said, I'd rather be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. So this is a time to prepare. This is a season that you'll look back on if you do this right. This is a season where 10, 15, 20 years from now, you'll be able to say, you know what my secret is to my huge success? 2023, 2024. When everybody else was freaking out, everybody else was not selling like they used to be selling. Everybody else was blaming everybody else for their problems with the economy or interest rates, whatever. I built a team. I had a bigger vision and I built a bigger team. And when we got on the other side of that moment, I cashed in. And I rode that wave ever since. This is a moment for a year or two to absolutely smash your team building. So back to the four things. One, we sell. You sell. There's still going to be sales happening, just not as the same quantity as what they were at lower interest rates. That'll come around. Number two, we recruit. Inside of this profession, we build an ever-expanding team of people who are also out there selling. And man, one, there's people out there ready to go get their license and start. But two, there's tons of people being underpaid, working in other places in real estate that should be working with you. And they've already self-identified. They're easy to find. All you got to do is be busy and tell them the story and let them know it's time to prepare. Turn their sales expertise into recruiting expertise, right? One, sell. Two, recruit. Three, the first two are just a job, just so you know. It's not a business yet. It's just a job. You're trading time for money. You're selling, you're recruiting. Three, the business starts to kick in, the real business. Three is to duplicate, to teach those people how to do it with or without you, to build an ever-expanding team in depth. So my first 3 years, I had no duplication. And when I finally cracked the code on duplication, I spoke with Brent this last week, and actually, when we were having the conversation, I didn't even know that this was on the calendar, to be honest. And he said, yeah, I'm going to be talking with you in a couple of days. I'm like, oh, great, fantastic, wonderful, looking forward to it. I have no idea what you're talking about, but anyway, it was on my calendar. I wasn't aware at the time. So what I knew was his secret sauce is he had a vision of what this could be if you could create duplication in addition to just recruiting. And his passion around that, his passion around helping people help people, was inspiring for me, and I can see why he's been inspiring for you. So duplication is actually really, really important, and it's different than other businesses. Sometimes you think if I just recruit enough, then it will duplicate. Not always. You got to build a culture around that. You got to build some skills around that. There's ways for you to be able to do it. So that starts to create real leverage where you can get recurring income where you're not involved. You know, when somebody's waking up in a different time zone, when you're going to sleep, they're waking up and they're working all day, and you're going to be able to benefit from that work ethic, those sales that are happening in other places. That was the dream. And it didn't happen for me, honestly, for about 3.5 years. And mostly I was in the way. Do me a favor. If you've been involved in network marketing, even if it's just EXP or any other form, how many years have you been involved? Put the number into the chat just so I can see, out of curiosity. 5, 1, 20, 30. Wow, look at a lot of different numbers. So I'm a big admirer of your company. I'm an admirer of the innovation. I'm an admirer of the continual improvement that you've dedicated to it, the culture that you've built. I really admire what you're doing. And I'll just tell you my personal experience. While I was struggling, adding and subtracting to my team, making sales, recruiting, and I had this like invisible glass ceiling. Once I got to about 30 people on my team that were intending on building a business, it would fall back down to like 6. And then I'd build it up to 30, it'd fall back down to like 12. And I did that 7 times my first 3 years. And I went to my first company convention. You remember your first company convention? I went, I'm just so excited. I have no money. I had a mentor that told me, don't ever miss an event. No matter what you do, don't miss an event. Eventually the penny's going to drop. You're going to be fine. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I went, I had no money. I drove to Denver, Colorado from Minneapolis with 3 other people in a car. We shared a hotel room. We taped the minibar shut so nobody would accuse somebody else of taking that expensive stuff out of the minibar. We made sandwiches from the grocery store, and we had bottles of water to be able to get us through. And I'm pressed up against the gate early the first morning, ready for them to open up the doors and get as close to the front as I can get. I race up there with my notes, and my eyes are this big. I'm so excited. And remember the first time you see recognition at the convention? I mean, my gosh, here's what it was for me. I found out there's different kinds. There's stand-up, sit-down recognition. Stand up if you're at this rank. Okay, sit down. All right, there was that kind of recognition. And then there was fast walk recognition. Like you're going to get on the stage, but you better walk really fast because there's no stopping, there's no pausing, there's no posing. We're going to get you across the stage. You could bang a lot of people through there. Then there was slow walk recognition where you got to stop and like get a picture with one of the VPs or something. And, you know, there's a little photo moment. Hopefully, you know, your parents got a picture, your upline got a picture, and then you go take your seat. And then they had the person who got to say a few words. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, they got flowers and they got a trophy and they got an oversized check and they got a big pin on their lapel, and they come up to the podium, put all the stuff down, and they say, I just want to thank my team and want to thank my wife or my husband and my kids back at home. It was like a little Oscar, you know, acceptance speech. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm writing mine right now. I'm going to be on that stage. I'm going to make it happen, right? So I'm so lit up, excited. Go home, I'm going to tear it up. And life gets in the way. And I'm going through the motions, and I fully intended to qualify to get that moment. And life got in the way, and pretty soon it's time to go to another event. So I'm like grinding. I get back to the other event. I'm not quite pressed up against the glass, you know, to get in quite as fast, but I'm going to get in. I'm sitting fairly close up front. and the recognition happens again, I'm like, I get reminded, oh, it's got to be me, right? So I get re-inspired, go back home, life gets in the way again. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. If you ever been inspired and then life got in the way, put a 7 in the chat if that's ever happened to you. If you're like really going to do it, and then just, the to-do list of life, you got to make a sale, you got to follow up, you got to find a listing, you got to do, you got to figure out some stuff. So about the 3rd or 4th convention for me, because I really never missed, the recognition started to hurt a little bit. I don't know if it ever got painful for you, but it started to hurt because I'm like, here's what I could be doing. Here's what I should be doing. But here's what I'm doing, and I can't figure out a way to close that gap. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And the other thing was, now I know the people that are on the stage, and they're not very smart. I mean, they don't know how the compensation plan works. They're not even very qualified. They're these Forrest Gumps walking across the stage, making trillions of dollars, and they have 80,000 people on their team. And like, what the hell is going on? How did this happen? Because I don't even get it. But I'm like, maybe I'm just not meant for this. Maybe I just need to sell. Maybe I just need to stay in my lane. Maybe I just need to know my place. It was, you put a good face on, I remember one year, this is one of the toughest days ever. So I'm like, I'm doing it. Just like, I'm not going to stop this time. And I went home and I worked so hard because the company said, if you get to this really top rank, then there's going to be a special something at the next event. Just, not the top, but reasonable rank, right? I'm full-time, mind you. So I pushed. I never worked so hard in my life. I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, but I hadn't figured out duplication, pushed and pushed, and I came this close. I tried to convince the company to let me buy the balance. So I'll give you a check just so I could get qualified at that rank. And they said, no, it doesn't work that way. So they're having a special event the night before the convention. And here's the sicko that I am, just for the people who qualified. So I'm the sicko that goes to the event and sits outside and watches everybody else go in. And I'm sitting, it's a convention center like lobby area. I'm sitting on the far side on chairs by myself, watching everybody go in. And my friends like, hey, Eric, how you doing? Yeah, fantastic, love you, bye. So they all go in, and the doors close. Boom. And literally felt like it was the doors closing on my dream for real. I'm just being straight with you. And a marching band walks up before I can walk away. And they bust open the doors, da, na, 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 boom, 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 boom. And they pass out $2 million in profit sharing checks to the people in that room. And I went to dinner that night with one of my mentors, and he was passing the check around the table. And it's like passing, and he gets to me, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you, Get this out of my face. I do not want to see this. This is too painful. And I got to tell you, I wanted to quit because I thought that something was broken in me, that I wasn't built for it. And I just should stay in my lane. And I committed to go to the next event. But if I'm honest with you, I was looking for an excuse to quit. If somebody would have looked at me wrong, if somebody would have made fun of me, anything, I was gone. And I'm sitting in that audience, and It was literally in the middle of the event, like I got hit by lightning, just bam. And I said, hold on. What if I decide to become world class at building a network? Not just recruiting, but duplication and leadership. What if I decide to become so good, not just in my head, but actually in practice, that I can build a huge team? What if I let go of my outcomes and my excuses and my upline and downline and economy and everything else, and I just control what I control and I become great? What if I go pro? What if I become a professional? Because my dominating emotion up until this moment, my first 3.5 years, was fear. Fear that I wasn't enough, fear I wasn't built for this, fear I didn't have enough education, didn't know enough people, didn't have enough success. I was afraid that I was on the wrong team, lived in the wrong place, maybe with the wrong company, wrong products. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong compensation plan. I don't know. But it was fear that I was going to miss the opportunity and that I wasn't enough. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to let go of expectations and outcomes, and I'm just going to focus on greatness. I'm going to become so good that they can't ignore me. I'm going to become so good that I'll earn my way into every room. So good that they'll ask me to speak on the stage. So good in my performance that the awards are just going to be a byproduct of how many people I'm going to help. And in that moment of decision to say, I'm going to do it, the fear left my body. Just like smoke, gone. I'm like, huh. So, all right, what's my plan? I go to people, who's the best recruiter in the company? I need to know who they are. And I made a list. What's their contact information? Made a list. Who's the best people that duplicate the best? I suck at that. Who are those? Who are those people? And who are the best leaders? Who are they? And I began to investigate what the great people really did. And I found out it's not quite what they say on stage. It's not that anybody's lying to you, that great performers sometimes have a difficult time sharing what they really do. And sometimes they're a little bit afraid to share what they really do because they work hard. So they try and, simplify it, and they have a lot of rhymey things, in their trainings and stuff. So I began to put a playbook together. It turned into GoPro, but just like, here's my playbook. Here's how I'm going to find prospects. Here's how I'm going to invite. Here's how I'm going to present. Here's how I'm going to follow up. Here's how I'm going to deal with objections. Here's how I'm going to close. Here's how I'm going to get them started. Here's how I'm going to get them to events. Now, again, I'm not here to train you on how to go sell. I'm just assuming you guys know how to sell. That's the foundation of everything, right? That's the job of real estate. But the business of growing a network, building an empire, if that's available and you don't take advantage of it, I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame. I think it's a wasted opportunity. I think you'll regret it. Eventually, you're going to get tired of just selling. And when you do get tired, wouldn't it be great to have 1,000 agents that are selling in a moment when you're tired and your income keeps going? Be pretty good, right? Well, that's what's available. You don't have to do it, but it's available. It's there. If you can imagine it and you develop the skills. And it didn't take me long. Here's the thing. It took me 3.5 years to finally make this decision. It took me like 2.5 years to get to $1 million a year in income. By the time I was 29 years old, I was making $1 million a year. Back when $1 million went a lot farther than it does today. I built a big career, and over the last 15 years, I've been training people how to build teams, how to recruit more, how to create more duplication within your organization, teach those people how to teach those people, how to teach those people, how to be a more effective leader, how to build internationally, how to have global expansion, even if you live in a town and you don't know anybody somewhere else in the world. How do you do all these things? How do you manage a team? How do you become a more effective communicator? All these different tactics, right? So what I'm proud of today is accumulation's one part of your life, right? Accumulate a bunch of stuff, but once you get your house, once you get your car, maybe get some more cars. Okay. Then get a plane. All right. Get a plane. Get a boat. All right. Get a boat. Then what? What are you going to do? The biggest joy, and I will tell you, your leaders will tell you the same thing, beyond accumulation is contribution. Being a little piece of somebody else's story. And that's the gift you have. You know how many agents are out there struggling right now, alone right now? You can not only give them an environment where they can succeed faster, better. You can give them a community that will encourage them when they're having a bad day. You can give them the ability to build something that's not just on their own sweat, but is on the productivity of the organizations that they grow. You have something special. Yeah, each and every one of you, if you want to step into it. And I'm guessing you wouldn't be here if you didn't at least want to explore that aspect of things. So 1, we sell. 2, we recruit. 3, we duplicate. What do I mean by duplicate? We teach those people how to sell and recruit, and we teach those people to teach their people how to sell and recruit, and we teach those people to teach their people how to sell and recruit. And number 4, we lead. We improve the productivity of the teams that we have based upon the leadership that we bring. If there's 2 leaders with 100 agents in each group, same quality. One is a great leader, the other one's a terrible leader. Which group is going to perform at a higher level given a fair amount of time? The group with the great leader. And I didn't consider myself a leader at all. I just decided to become one until a leader showed up. I would just pretend I was a leader until the real person showed up. And eventually, one showed up, and it wasn't another person. It was me. I showed up, and I was like, well, I guess I'm the guy, There was a struggle happen. The economy would change. And everybody look at me and say, what are we doing? I'm like, oh, I guess I'm the guy. I didn't expect to be the guy. Back when I was selling, to give you some perspective, you know what interest rates were for a 30-year mortgage? 10%. 10% for a 30-year fixed. So, hey, you young kids got it easy at 8. I'm just teasing. I know it sucks right now, especially when a bunch of people are sitting out there at 2%, holding on for dear life to that payment. It'll shift. It'll change. When it does, the biggest team's going to win, for sure. So, look, I love the fact that you've attached network marketing to your model, to the scale that you bring and the dollars that flow through your organizations. I love it. If you're prepared for this moment over the next 18 to 36 months, if you put your head down and build hard, if you shift your focus to team building and leadership and duplication while you're waiting for sales to happen, while you're pushing to get the sales that are happening, you take that extra time to really build an empire. When it shifts, and it will, you're going to get paid. So listen, I've helped about 1,000 people make $1 million a year in this profession. And I can't tell you how fun that is to be a little piece of that story. They did the work, but I helped. Okay. Like, I don't know, 4 or 5 million copies of GoPro's been around the world. I don't know if you've read it, but it's been around for a minute. But I've helped tens of thousands make 6 figures from their team, not from their sales. From their team, not from their sales. Many of you can go make 6 figures from your sales. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about from the sales of the people on your team. Tens of thousands. And I've helped millions of people make a nice part-time income from their team, not from their sales. There's a difference here, okay? Don't get so hung up in your identity as an agent that you lose sight of the fact that you can build a huge business in addition to being an excellent agent. In order to do that, you need the skills. So I share all of that to say this. I've hosted an event for the last 13 years called GoPro. It's a 3-day event. It's designed to help you learn how to do the business building aspect of this thing. We don't talk much about sales. We assume that you know that. We're going to teach you recruiting, duplication, and leadership. And what I share, and in previous years, I've had lots of different speakers, and it's like this, I don't know, you see 40 speakers on a screen, and it's kind of like a dance recital. Everybody goes up for 20 minutes and tries to be Tony Robbins, and then the next person comes up and does their 20 minutes, tries to be Tony Robbins, and over and over and over. This year, it's not that. I'm stripping it all back, and I'm just going to share. It's just me training 3 days. Day 1 is December 1st. I'm going to teach you everything I've learned and everything that's working right now for you to become a recruiting machine, for you to be able to add people to your team, for you to be able to personally do that any day you wish, on demand. How to find prospects, how to go through the whole process, how to show them what's available. And will streaming be available? Yes. Frankly, the in-person event sold out. There's no more capacity for the in-person event, but we built a $20 million virtual studio here in Las Vegas that delivers, puts you in a front row seat, puts you a total immersive experience where you're going to be involved actively. It's not going to just feel like a Zoom. It's amazing. So virtual tickets, all that's available. So day 1 is December 1st, Friday, December 1st. I'm going to train you about 6 hours straight of everything I've learned and all the things that are working right now for the best recruiters in the world. Global best use cases, case studies, best practices, all shared. Every secret, tactic, script, everything is going to be shared. It's not going to conflict with anything that you're training right now. Believe me, I know what you're training. It's solid. I'm just going to say it's going to be something that will complement that. And sometimes people on your team have heard what they can hear from you. Maybe they need to hear it from somebody else. And when they're there, they're going to look at you, the leader, and they're going to go, you've been telling me that for the last 5 years. And you're going to say, thank you. Finally, you listen to me. So there's some stuff that's working particularly well right now that I'm going to be sharing. Day 1. Day 2 is all duplication. I'm going to teach you specifically how to duplicate, how to get people to go from dependent on you to becoming independent from you. This journey from dependence to independence. So they're out there building with or without you, which is the dream, and teach them how to do the same thing. Day 3 is all about leadership. Teach you how to be a better leader, because sometimes in real estate, you don't need to lead. You just need to sell. You might have a team, but it's a support team. It's not really a team of other sellers. So learning how to lead, for some, is going to be a new skill. For others, we can strengthen whatever you have. Okay? So how you could become a more powerful leader using your skills, and then, or kind of your personality, and then how do you identify people on your team that have the potential of being a leader as well? And then mentor them into leadership, and then stay in good communication with them so they don't splinter into 15 different factions inside of your organization with 15 different systems and everybody's confused. How do you stay in good communication? How do you work with those leaders and stay strong as a team, united, so people are focused? Because a focused team is going to win. A distracted team is going to be distracted. So recruiting, duplication, leadership, those 3 days. Now, the information that I'm going to share with you is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. If I charge $10,000 for those 3 days, it would be well worth your time, I promise. December 1, 2, and 3. We're selling a ticket for $197 virtual, and that includes 3 days of replay. So you'll have 3 days afterwards to be able to watch in case something is in the way during that weekend. I'd recommend that you watch in person. All the information that's going to be shared in person is going to be better. There's going to be a better tension. You're going to learn better from live versus replay, I promise. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. But there is a 3-day replay, which will go till Wednesday the 6th. $197. But I talked with Carlos, talked with your leaders. We're going to do something for everybody that's on this Zoom today because we really want you to get the information and be prepared for the moment to capture this opportunity and build an empire. So we're going to take and cut that in half today. We're going to give you a coupon code for $100. If you see in the link right there, if you copy that, oh, here it is. We all learned to use these barcodes in restaurants during the pandemic. If you just barcode that, with your camera or take a picture of the screen, you go to GoPro2023.com, put the coupon code GoPro into the coupon code field. It'll take $100 off. So you can get a ticket for $97, which will include 3 days of replay. So 3 full days of training on how you build an empire, $97. Now, if anybody already bought it, and you paid more than $97, if you email support@networkmarketingpro.com, we will upgrade you to a VIP ticket, which is a $350 ticket for free. So if you've already paid $197, got you. networkmarketingpro.com, support@networkmarketingpro.com. We'll upgrade you to that. Okay? So listen, the reason why I'm here is I'm a fan, number one, of what you're doing and what you've done. I'm a bigger fan of what you're going to do. Really, and no kidding. I think the noise you're going to make is, and I believe people might think, oh, it's a little too late. I think you're way, way, way early in comparison to where you're going to be. And I think the people who really learn how to build a team and how to identify and build leaders are going to have such an unfair advantage over the people who are amazing at selling, but they don't have leverage beyond their own selling. I want you to have that leverage. And I know many of you are being smart and taking your money and turning it into investments and building your portfolios and all that stuff. I get that. I'm just talking about the cash flow that you got coming in. You can change the quality of that cash flow. And then please continue to invest it wisely into things that'll serve you for a long time. So I'm going to pass it back. And also I'm going to turn my camera off, but I'm going to stay on because I'm a big fan of the other leaders that are on this Zoom. I hope you take advantage of the offer. That coupon code's good for the next 24 hours, and then it's gone. So you get that $100 off for the next 24 hours, and then it's gone just in time for Thanksgiving. So I hope I get to see you December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, one way or the other. Even if you have stuff going on, you'll have the replay. Whoever gets the most people from their team to this event, I promise, is going to win. You're going to set up to close this year strong and make 2024 legendary. So, Carlos, I'll give it back to you, my friend.
Thank you, Eric. And guys, listen, GoPro gave me the belief. If you're wondering how this Hispanic, barely knows English guy with no game got this massive organization, Eric, I give so much credit to him. With that said, we've got more fire coming your way. I'm going to bring the queen, the most influential woman in EXP, someone that closes thousands of transactions, top 10 in EXP, 2 years in a row, and just a massive, massive rock star. Veronica Figueroa up next. Let's go.
Hey everyone, I hope everyone can see me. Eric, thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. Let's all give him a fire emoji in the chat if you plan on attending, because I know I'll be there. I see Brent's arms going all crazy. And I think one thing that I have in common with Brent is that we're lifelong learners. We're always so passionate, and we love seeing when another leader pours their heart into us and just gives back. And, you know, Eric, I'm a huge fan of yours. I'll be there, but I want to just go ahead. I got a short window. Carlos gave me the hardest seat in the house, which is following Eric, but I'm super pumped. I'm honored and privileged. Guys, I'm here from Puerto Rico live, getting ready to spend Thanksgiving with my family. But when they gave me this opportunity, I said, absolutely, I wouldn't miss it to spend time with my EXP family. 500 of you have logged in. This is amazing. You know what this means? This means this is our time to change lives, our times to impact and to duplicate, like what Eric said. And I'm excited because I want to learn more from him. But what I'm going to do is share with you guys some really, really short tips that I think you guys can apply to your business if you're looking to grow your business, to grow your influence, to grow your authority in your market, not just, of course, in agent attraction, but also for those of you who are building your name in your community, and also apply it to what you need to do right now, which is go and help people get through this market, right? Be that voice of inspiration and positivity to them. When everyone else is doom and gloom, you're the leader that's showing up. You're the leader that's taking action. You're the leader that's reminding everyone that what they tell themselves is powerful. So we've got to tell ourselves positive things. So guys, I'm going to invite you guys to use my formula that has allowed me to get through this real estate industry over and over and over again. I was in the 2005 market. I was in the downturn market. I was in the REO market. I was in the boom market. I was in the COVID market. I was in the EXP explosive market. And guess what? EXP hasn't even begun to explode as big as we are going to explode. This is separation season. And all 443 of you guys here are the leaders that will help us determine who are the leaders of the future and change lives, like Eric says. Listen, I've sold thousands of homes, but the thousands of lives that I've been able to impact through EXP are so much more meaningful to me. And I love my clients. I love the homes that we've sold, but the lives that we've touched, and when I get the calls of, this was able to hold me through my, this year, right? This extra revenue share, this extra income. I was able to buy that home. I was able to buy that second home. I was able to take care of my parents. That's what we are looking for, is to find other ways for you to build leverage. I am Mrs. Build a Team. So I love what Eric was saying. And I love the fact that I have an amazing real estate sales team. But what I want to do is build an amazing organization. And this formula that I'm going to share with you has helped me build every chapter of my career. And I'm ready to take it to the next level with principles that Eric is going to share, and what Brent has taught me, and Jay has taught me, and what Tina's going to share with you, and all these leaders. But I want you to give yourself permission to remember this acronym: Dare to be rare. Okay. And it's a silly little acronym that I have used in my business, but I want you guys to think about the simplicity of it. Okay. I have always been daring. I have always been bold. I've always wanted to go against the grain and do things that most people criticize that won't work. But when I see people like Brent Gove chasing a dream and making that dream a reality, and my buddy Jay Kinder, and so many people who have given me the formula, I was like, these are my people. Okay. And there's a very simple acronym that I've used in my business. And I want you to remember this, and I want you to write this down. If you just take the time, please honor me with this little small request. I want you to give yourself permission to be rare. And what that means in my world is a very simple acronym. The reputation that you build during this time, who are you? What kind of leader are you going to be? See, I've always built a reputation that I want people to be able to describe me when I'm not in the room. And that has been a part of my attraction, right? And I hope that when you talk about me, or you may have heard about me, that the word passion is one of those words, right? I have always made sure that I built a reputation of passion, of being bold, of being an action taker. I embrace rejection. I embrace the fact that This is a business of momentum and being a person of positivity and going out there and being a leader in this space that understands that it's going to take a little bit of hard work sometimes. That's okay. But this reputation that you built, this resilience that you built as a leader is so powerful, and it's going to be the difference in this market and to come. Okay, guys, in EXP, I built a reputation of being a producer, right? But honestly, I want to be that leader. I want to be that leader that shows up with consistency, be the problem solver, be the person that inspires other people, right? So this formula that I use of what's the reputation that people will say about you as you become a leader. And I want you to think about that. I want you to have that reflection with yourself. Is it positivity? Is it a leader? Is it someone that goes out and helps somebody? You're picking up the phone and checking on people. You're being that leader they need you to be during this time and moving forward, okay? So the first one is reputation. How do you want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as that person who was bold, who was daring, who during every uncomfortable moment of our industry, we showed up. We showed up positive. We were ready to take action. I've made more uncomfortable conversations this month than ever before, and I'm going to keep on having those conversations. I'm going to check on my people. I'm going to love on my people. I'm going to do the videos. I'm going to do the things that most people don't want to do, because that's the reputation that I take pride in myself. The second thing that I've always done in my business is I always have my attraction hat on. That's the second acronym, RA. You got reputation for R. Attraction is A. And I saw Joe Simmons comment up early on. He was like, can we change the word from recruiting to attraction? Baby, you call it what you want. But those of us who are builders and leaders, we understand that recruiting is powerful. And it's not a bad word. It's about what you believe. What are we recruiting people into? When I was a buyer's agent, I was always recruiting buyers and sellers, attracting buyers and sellers, attracting business owners, attracting other like-minded leaders. In today's mindset, I do the same. It's attraction. You know, who am I attracting into my space? Who do I want to be in business with? I love team leaders. I love brokers. I love top producers. So, you know, I want to attract those leaders. You have to decide who you want to be in this attraction space, in this recruiting space. But here's the thing. You can recruit your way out of a recession. You can recruit your way out of your problems, but you have to be the problem solver, the person that attracts people through the value that you bring to their life. What are you doing to attract people into your life? How are you helping your colleagues, the people in your space? How are they viewing you as a leader? Attraction is so important, but it starts with also how you view attraction. Agent attraction is not a nasty thing. It's not a bad thing. Attract people who are like-minded, who are authentic, who believe in what you're doing. And if you are always in attraction mode, attraction just becomes so much easier for you. But you've got to believe that this is powerful. You have the most amazing platform at EXP to attract agents, team leaders, brokers, staff members, referral agents. Guys, we have an amazing referral company right now. We have an amazing commercial company. There are so many things that you can use attraction for to help agents in this season. You just have to fall in love with the idea of attracting leaders every single day in your life. It starts with the mindset that you have with agent attraction. The next R is retention. How are you loving on the people who already know, like, and trust you? How are you loving on the people that are your leaders? You just heard Eric. Maybe the person that you pick up the phone and call and love on and pour into, they're the next Brent Gove. They're the next Eric Worre that just needed that spark, that just needed something to spark inside of them. Retention is a part of all of this. Of course, retention right now is it might seem a little hard because you're hearing all the naysaying about NAR and you're hearing all the naysaying about agents leaving the industry. Let's love on the ones who are here. Let's love on the ones that are showing that they want to thrive during this market. Let's love on the ones that are just going to have that wake-up call that you're going to be the one who's going to unlock them to help them say, I am going to survive in this market. Fun facts. In 2005, I had one of the best years, like most of us who entered into real estate, right? We were tripping over commission checks. In 2007 and 8, I fell into depression. I got a job. I went and called a buddy and says, I can't even afford my mortgage. I have to pay for my daughter's tonsils. I had to get a job to pay for insurance. And I sat in that job behind that cubicle for 6 months, miserable. And I said, I'd rather sell real estate and live in a cardboard box under a bridge, but I'm going to make a decision today that I'm going to be one of the best real estate agents ever out of my market. And that was the day, 4 years after I was in the industry, that I had lost it all and watched it all happen, that I made a decision. It takes oftentimes just that one call or that moment. And you could be the one, through your retention calls, through your loving on your agents and loving on your partners, that they finally get it. And they finally make a decision to say, I am going to make it in this industry, and I'm going to take advantage of everything that this company has to offer me. And today I make a decision to be the very best. I'm going to be an empire builder like Tina Caul. I'm going to be an empire builder like Carlos. I'm going to be a top producer who's going to lead the masses into massive production, because I decided today that I'm going to be a leader. Never, ever assume that just because someone hasn't yet sparked or built a big organization that they don't have it in them. Don't neglect the people who are already in your organization, who are waiting to just hit that moment. It's that moment of time where they realize, today I decide to make a difference in my life. And last but not least is the word, the acronym, the E, excellence and experience. What is the experience people will feel when they're in your world? Are you the person that brings them in and forgets about them? Or are you educating them? Are you empowering them? Are you bringing value to their business? Are you creating community? And how do you want that experience to feel? If you haven't read the book, Unreasonable Hospitality, I highly encourage you guys to adopt that, not only in your real estate business, but also in your community building, and pour into the people who absolutely love you and who are in your world. And if you also look at the word experience, not just how people experience you, but also now's the time. Eric said it. It's time to sharpen our skills. It's time to learn new things. It's time to get excited and be okay with learning AI and sharpening your leadership skills and saying, you know what, I want to practice those listing scripts. I want to practice those agent attraction calls. I want to sharpen my skills. We have the opportunity now, while everyone is sleeping, while everyone is pouting, while everyone is depressed, to sharpen our skills and to become the very best leader possible. I'm more excited than ever. I'm more excited because this is the moment that we get to be rare, that we get to be wild, that we get to be obnoxious. I've always prayed for an organization and a platform that will allow all my extraness to come out. And to me, network marketing and EXP and real estate, and no barriers to my success at EXP, what EXP has given me, it's given me permission to show up in my most authentic manner. And if a girl like me, 16 and pregnant, divorced by 24, bankrupt by 27, could do this and build an organization the size I did, and be able to retire my parents and make millions in a short 4-year span at EXP, all of you can do this. So I encourage you to sign up. I encourage you to invest those $97 to spend 3 days with the top leaders. It will apply to your sales business as well. It will change your life. You owe it to your family. You owe it to yourself. This is separation season, and I invite you guys to finally make a decision. Make a decision to go out there and touch people's lives and help them. Yes, we sell real estate. Yes, we will sell real estate during hard times with high interest rates, low interest rates. Regardless, people need a roof over their head. What's not going to change is what Jeff Bezos says. People ask me what's going to change, but here's what's not going to change. Leaders who show up. People are going to buy real estate, and people are going to be attracted to the leaders during this market that show up. So I ask you guys to finally make a decision today and show up for yourself, for your family, for your legacy. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all.
Fire for Veronica. Let's hear in the chat, guys. And we're not wasting any time. Man, that needs no introduction. Up next, we've got our friend Jay Kinder. All right, guys, and stick around. There's a lot more fire coming your way. Jay, how's it going, my friend?
And it's going great, buddy. How are you today?
Absolutely amazing. So take it away.
Yeah, man. Here's, I sit here with my notepad, as always, taking notes and learning from all of you guys. And it doesn't change, but there's a couple things that really resonated with what's been said so far. with what my experience has been being at EXP. And the first thing is this is about adding value. It's about making a difference in people's lives. And Eric said something that I think really is important to understand. The payoff is going to be contribution. And it's leaders creating leaders, creating leaders. And you hear these things, but sometimes maybe it's not always sinking in. And what I've seen happen in this organization, and it's not that you don't know what to do. So I can't tell you the things that you need to do, but what are the things that you know you're not doing that you know you should be doing, right? And start doing those things is going to be how you get there, okay? How many of you, and be honest, throw it in the chat, how many of you have conducted a three-way call this week for someone on your team? Anybody? When Eric talks about duplication, this is the key. This is the secret. This is the secret sauce. And I remember my first year at EXP, I did, and I looked this up in my schedule once. I looked at it at the end of the year, and I had done 999 three-way calls, which was not really that many, a few a day, okay? 999. The leaders that I helped create are creating leaders within their organization who are creating leaders within their organization. But you have to follow the process. It has to duplicate. It doesn't need to be you. It's not always going to be you. Leverage is what you're after here. This is truly leverage. If you understand and accept the challenge that you're not going to set out to build a wall. You're not. You're going to lay one brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And you're going to do that every day, and soon you will have a wall. Set out to add the most value and create the most impact on a person's life, and do that over and over and over again. That is the process. That is what duplicates. That is why we're all here. It's contribution. It's adding value to people's lives. That has to be the focus. That being said, I'm going to ask the question once again. What are the things that you're not doing? It's really this simple. What are the things that you know you should be doing, then you're not doing? Are you measuring it daily? How many conversations a day are you going to need to have in order to get to another three-way call? And did you have that number of conversations today? And if not, what do you have to change? Who do you have to become in order to have greatness? Do you want to live a life of mediocrity, or would you choose excellence? Would you choose greatness? Because it's just a choice. It's literally just a choice that you get to make. And the good news is it's a choice that you get to decide. But all of us here that have gotten to a high level, at some point, Eric said it, Veronica said it, I've heard Brent say it, we made a decision. And we charged down the path. And we got with the people that were doing it, and we sat next to them, and we took notes, and we went back and just did exactly what they told us to do. That's it. That's how we got here. It's not that complicated. So don't overcomplicate it. Who's the person that you have to become in order to get the results that you would like to see in your life? And how many people's lives are you going to need to impact in order to get there? That's all I got.
Boom, man, fire from our man, Jay Kinder. Built one of the most amazing organizations in all of EXP. Guys, it's that simple. Don't neglect, measure, and get it done. Up next, we have the man, the myth, the legend, another man that needs no introduction, Mr. Brent Gove. Let's go.
Well, thank you, Carlos. And this is absolutely awesome. I have like 40 key salient points written down. I'm so fired up, I may just explode right here, man. I may just actually ignite into a ball of fire, man. I just like, woo, baby, I'm so pumped. So a couple things. Ready for this one? You ready? Write this down. Congratulations. You're at a historic moment in time. We're officially the worst market in real estate in 40 years. And you're thinking, why is he so excited about that? Because I'm not out there just grinding, selling real estate. I did something when it was a boom market. I built something for the time as this. Now, here's the deal. When's this time, best time to build a tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time? Right now, baby. So here, it's a double-edged sword. Here's the deal. Pain causes people to move. Pain. People are in pain. Am I happy about it? No. But I'm telling you, agents and brokers and franchises are suffering like I have never seen them suffer. Big companies are going bankrupt. Franchises are going bankrupt. Franchises that have never gone bankrupt, they can't sell them. They'd love to sell them. They have massive debt, massive unpaid rent. They are freaking out with a capital F. So here's the deal. It's a double-edged sword because your sales are affected too. Basically cut in half across America. There's certain pockets that are doing fine. And of course, the stars are doing as well or better. You can't keep a winner from winning. The superstars are killing it. But the other 90% of America, the other 90% of those 1.6 million agents are freaking out. Listen to me. When do people do something? When it becomes so painful that they'll leave RE/MAX and go to Keller Williams. And I did that in 2008. I was #1 RE/MAX agent in sales in 2005 for RE/MAX in California. And in 2008, I wasn't able to make my house payment. In 2009, 7 million people lost their home to foreclosure. I was one of them. There's 300 million people. Only 7 million of us lost our homes. And I was one of them. You know, I was doing a short sale and they dual tracked me like, no problem. We'll do the short sale. I thought, okay, we'll get out of here with a little, as much non-egg on my face as I can. I was a team leader of the most profitable Keller Williams in the world. And I lost my home. A Keller Williams agent, Dean Rinker, called me and said, man, I don't have to tell you this, but the bank assigned your property to me yesterday. And I need you out in 30 days. And I thank God. This is the best thing for me. What you're praying for God to take away from you, it's exactly what you need to form some character in your life. You know, when you just make it easy for your 16-year-old daughter, you give them a convertible BMW, you give her a Visa card so she can go have coffee with their friends, and you, oh, honey, go to the car wash and take care of it, and I'll change the tires and do the oil changes for you. And if you want to go to Nordstrom's, here you go. And you make her life so good. Are you really helping her? And so I'm telling you right now, you're like, God, why have you forsaken me? And so here's the deal. God hasn't forsaken you. He created this moment to make you strong. And there's one of my favorite sayings ever. It's not the force of the gale, but the set of your sail that determines your direction in life. Write that one down. You ready? It's not the force of the gale, but the set of your sail that determines your direction in life. So right now, the storm's blowing. It is for 90% of you out there, you're suffering. What you gonna do? Now, you could let it blow you over like a Category 5 hurricane, or you could just harness that thing. You remember the old 1980s windsurfers? Now they're kite surfers, but windsurfers, ESPN, they're on a surfboard, they get the sailboat attached to it, and they grab that wind. And on kind of a windy day, it's a good day for beginners when it's just kind of blowing 5, 10 miles an hour, 15. But man, when it's going 30, 40 miles an hour, whoa, the pros come out. Talk about Go Pro. Eric Worre, if you're still watching, first time for me to hear you speak. Awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. Grand slam, home run. I'm a fan. But here's the deal. This is your moment. And you can let this thing blow you over, or you could step up, man. What would Tony Robbins do? Eric talked about that. What would Eric do? What would the leaders do? What would Jake Kinder do? And Tina and Veronica and Carlos and all the other leaders, Eric Worre, we step up, baby. And we lean into it. And we wipe the blood off our face. And we say, if it's too tough for you, it's just right for me. You know what? In the Bible, if you read the Bible, and I read the Bible, it always do after famines and plagues and wars and pestilence and, every terrible floods, the earth, it always says, you know what it says? And it came to stay. And it was terrible ever after. No, it doesn't say that. It says, and it came to pass. That's what it says. Think back in your life. Remember when she broke up with you? Or when he divorced you, or when that business went bankrupt, or maybe you lost your house like me in 2008 or 9. I think it was 2009 by the time I lost the house. Remember how bad it was? Is it still like that one? No, that was it. Now I have a whole new set. See, listen to me. In life, it rains on the just and the unjust. This life is full of trials and tribulations. Don't be surprised to it, but step into it, step up and take massive action and get some street credibility. Now, Vincent St. Louis never sold a home, but he's got a huge organization. He has street credibility. Rick Violette never sold a home, but he's got a massive organization, street credibility. So you think, well, once I sell a home, I'll go do this. That's an excuse. Massive action creates results. Massive actions will give you results, which gives you street credibility. So number one, welcome to the worst market in 40 years. Number two, pain causes people to take action, to move brokerages. Number three, December is the number one month. Oh, wow. I better, if this hangs up on me, I don't even see my charger. My laptop's not charged and I've had it on all day. Oh, well, it hangs up, go to the next person. But here's the deal. That's what happens when you put a segment in charge. They don't plug their laptop in. That's going to hang up on me. I know it. Oh man, now I can't even think, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is your moment. December's when they change, it's going to push into 2024. It's normally the month of like October, November, December, recruiting season, and it kind of ends in January, February. Baby. Recruiting season is going to push all the way into 2024 because I hate to tell you this, pain's on the menu. I hate to tell you this, if you don't step up in a big way right now, you're going to go through bankruptcy, you're going to go through foreclosure, you're going to get steamrolled. You're scaring me, stop. No, you need to know the truth. And the truth is this market's going to be tough. Now listen to me. Drew Johnson, I just talked to him. He's on fire. He's driving to Sassoon, far away. He's taking a listing. He's driving out of Modesto, far away. He's taking a listing. He's driving up. He's loving. He goes, man, I got so much momentum. I'm on fire. I go, how'd you do it? He goes, man, just like you said, I'm taking massive action. I'm making the calls. I'm scrapping. I'm doing this. I'm actually having fun. He says, I got about 30,000 in commission in escrow right now. And you can pay your bills on 30,000. So as I wrap it up, I want to tell you this. I've never seen it like this before. I've never seen it like this before. Never, ever in my almost 30 years. This is my third correction, but I've never seen it. It's way worse than this correction's way worse because people lost their homes and we were selling them on the way down. And then when it hit bottom, we sold them on the way up. Right now, buyers aren't really buying too much and sellers really aren't selling. American public doesn't know how bad it is. But the agents know, and the mortgage brokers know, and the title and lending know. And so I'm not happy about it, but here's the deal. This is your moment. And so I want to say this. Do you have standards? Talk to people who sell at least 10 homes a year or more. Boom. Talk to people with a good, positive attitude. Their stars trending north. They have good energy. They're not sucking on a pickle, a lemon. Talk to good people. They have good friends. Next, set and hit daily goals. Do the work. Do the work. Set, hit daily goals. I'll say this, and I'm going to end with this. I created the 1/10 of 1% club. We met at my home every single night at 10 p.m. Every single night at 10 p.m., 6 nights a week. Well, that's kind of hardcore. Yep. If anybody was 1 minute late, they owed $100. You mean you did something so radical, so fanatical? Yep. That's what I did. Because I'm an agent of change. I'm a change agent, baby. I'm a history. You met every night at 10 p.m., like 6 nights a week. Oh my gosh. At 10 in person, not on Zoom, in person, my house. Yep. So I want you to guess what year that was. Was it last year? Was it last month? Was it 2 or 3 years ago, 5 years ago? When did Brent Gove do that? You don't have to do it forever. It was 1985. It was 1985. See, I've been like this for a long time. I don't know if he's all there. It was 1985. I was 19 years old. I was a dishwasher, but I wanted a better future. And I met with my friends, my leaders at my house because I'm the leader. I stepped up. I said, we meet every single night at 10 o'clock and we will go over our goals. And we did it and did it and did it and did it. I created a network of thousands and thousands and thousands of people at 19 because I stepped up. I'm choking on my slobber. Here's the deal. This is your moment. I'm getting excited. I'm so excited. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to get steamrolled? No. You're going to do something great. Anyways, my time's over. I'm down to 1% battery power. I go plug my laptop in, Thanks for having me. Love you all. Do something great with your life. I'm out of here. Thank you, Carlos.
Man,
Love you, man.
leave it to Brent to light your hair on fire. Absolutely incredible. Show the love for Brent. Now we got one more right here. This lady is one of the top personal recruiters in all of VXP. She crushes that front line, and her organization over 1,000 plus, one of the top teams in the company. TEDx speaker. Let's have Tina Caul coming on. Tina.
Hello, you guys. Can you see me there? There he is. You make me go after that. So inspired. All right, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for having me, Carlos. You know, I got to say, Brent is the galvanizer of all galvanizers, Veronica as well. I mean, they just bring fire. So since they brought the fire, even though people call me the hope dealer, and I brought slides because I'm very tactical and I like to get down to business. So I'm going to give you guys action steps, because action takers are money makers. And so although we're going to get fired up, I am the hope dealer, but I always have a backup plan, because hope is not going to get you there. Action is. So let's start with some tactical things. What I learned in EXP the last 4 years. Okay. And so here's my first lesson. When we are talking to people about this company, what are we first? We are a production focused company. We are the #1 in sales. We have a ton of agents, 90,000. We just hit 90,000. So when you are talking about the revenue share model off the jump, you are kind of deterring a lot of agents right away. We have to find out what's important to them first. So many agents start with that value proposition, and I never start with that value proposition. I bring it up as icing on the cake, because guess what? The most motivated Brent Goves and Veronicas and Jake Hinders and myself and Carlos, we're going to get that revenue share. We're going to go, I like that. But the majority of people, they want to sell more homes because they're focused like a racehorse on selling deals first. So talk about what they want to talk about. So that was the first lesson I learned, because I was going hard on studying all the amazing things. And I went for revenue share and stock first, because that's what I was interested in, and I lost them. But once I started going for production, I found them and I brought them back in. Lesson 2, bringing recruits to mega events like this. To me, I go, wow, there's 400 people on here today. Why isn't there 10,000 of 90,000 in this brokerage? Where are the motivated people? The beautiful thing about this business is that not a lot of people are racehorses. Not a lot of people are lions like we are. We're here learning, and we're probably the best of best in the company. And we showed up today. So bring recruits to events, because around those events, they're going to find the lions. They're going to find the warriors and go, these are the people I want to be around. And that's why everybody needs to go to Eric Worre's event. I've already been to his virtual events because I study the greats, and he is one of the greats. Lesson 3, you are not the creator of content, but you better be the curator. Either way, you get paid the same. Meaning, today, you should have a book full of notes. That is curation. I'm going to take those notes now as a leader. I'm going to compile those notes. And guess what? I'm going to go deliver those notes to the people that were not here. Why? Because every time I'm around them, I want them to go, damn, Tina Caul always brings me value. Every time I'm around her, she brings me value. So if they're thinking of me versus thinking of their broker, guess what? When the time comes to have that conversation about coming to EXP, they're going to listen to you, because like Jay said, you came from contribution. You kept coming from contribution, and they're going to go, I want to be around Jay Kinder, because every time I'm around that man, I learn something. So then and only then you have a chance, because if you meet them cold and you don't care about what they care about, and you didn't bring them any value, why would they listen to you? So always be that person of value. I was not the smartest kid at school. In fact, I was a CD student. I sucked at school. In fact, school made me an entrepreneur, because I had to think outside the box, because every time I left those walls, I felt pretty smart. But in those walls, I felt pretty dumb. But that's the reality. It's like I read books, and then I took the learning and I went and applied it in life. And you guys can do that too. So the lesson 4 I learned is grow local, grow fast. I remember when I told Gene Frederick that I was going to build a brokerage locally, and he's like, don't do that. It's too much work. And I said, but Gene, I know all these people, and how am I going to build community? I'm building a team. I'm building a brokerage, a virtual brokerage, but a brokerage. So remember, you're building a team, and what do most agents want? They want this. They want to be around like-minded people, and they want community. So when you allow people to have a seat at your table before they join you at EXP, that builds trust. The first time I ever watched Brent Gove's Gove's video, I was going to do a recruiting event at my office. And I called my team 5 minutes before we started. I said, we're not going to say one word about EXP. They were so mad at me. And they were like, what do you mean? We're at this great company and it's got rev share and stock and leads and training and all the things. Why aren't we going to tell them? Because we're going to build trust and we're going to come from value. And what did we do? We opened the doors and we showed them our listing presentation. They were taking notes like crazy people. The next week, what did we do? We invited them back for a second mastermind. They brought a friend. They took copious notes. The third week, they came back. The fourth week, we built enough trust to say, hey, Sally, you've been to my event 3 times in a row. It sounds like you're getting a lot of value here. Yeah, I am. It's amazing. Well, great. You know, we want to partner with people like you that show up because obviously it sounds like we're your people. Now let's sit down and have a conversation about partnering. And that's where, you know, I was really gaining that trust and that momentum. I didn't make a cold call. I'm not a cold caller. I'm an attractor. I like to bring people in and I like to learn about what's important to them and care about those things and then give them solutions. So those are 4 things I learned. The other thing I learned is don't be a secret recruiter. Recruiting is not bad. I forget who taught me this, but it was basically that a recruiter is somebody that cares more about themselves or cares more about the other person than they do themselves. You care enough to bring them information that will change their life. So have a strategy for social media. Know who your avatar is and what you're looking for in each post that you do. Because I watch a lot of your posts, they have no purpose other than throwing out something. So for instance, likes. Do I want this post to get likes? Do I want to be known for something? You know, you can't be a great recruiter if you don't put yourself out there. So maybe this post, I want to inspire somebody and give them an action step like this post. The next thing is engagement, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, the algorithms like to see engagement. So get them to engage with your content. Try to give them valuable content where they will want to make a comment or they will want to share. And so we're all real estate agents, and the majority of people on Instagram are real estate agents. And if you look up their production on Zillow, they're not selling many homes. So they want content that's going to help them be valuable. If I'm giving you content over and over and over again, guess what? I'm building an audience. I'm building a list and I'm building eyeballs so I can build trust. And then those people are engaging with me, which allows me to reach back out to them. So when I get engagement or comments, guess what I am? I'm sliding right into their DMs and loving on something they're doing in their world. And now I've just made a new friend. So it's about building those relationships behind the scenes. The third thing is pick your platform. You're not going to be great at them all. I love YouTube. That's where I doubled down and I built, you know, an audience there. And I gave a lot of value for free for 4 years. I never charged a dime for anything I put there. My listing presentation, it's free. It's on YouTube. Go look at it. I have people in my market that say, I've watched your listing presentation 10 times. The minute I get that text, guess what I'm doing? I'm inviting them to something. I'm bringing them into value. Become a professional inviter to value. So for me, I did go all in on Instagram. And the last thing that I want to share with you guys is content creation. I can't tell you how many times people will say, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to post. But the reality is it's really easy because you have content for days. Like right now, I'm on this Zoom, but I have my phone set up recording me. This is a recording. So I'm going to take that content of this presentation right now, and then I'm going to hire a VA, which I already have 5 VAs. For $8 an hour, they're going to take that recording. They're going to edit this video. They're going to upload it to video.ai, whatever that is, and they're going to cut it up. And guess what? I'm probably going to get 15 to 20 shorts from this little 10-minute session, and I'm going to put that out on social media because I just created a bunch of content. When you guys are on the phone with your buyers and your sellers, you should have another video camera recording you. When you're talking to agents in your office, you should have a video camera recording you. People want to see behind the scenes and they want to see what you're saying. Teach me something, sell me, or tell me how to sell real estate. Tell me how to sell real estate at a high level. Tell me how to build a team. And remember, the best person that you can help is you 4 years ago, you 10 years ago. If Veronica remembers Veronica when she first started in the business and she does an exercise today and says, what were my pain points that V had when I first joined in real estate? She'd probably have about 52 bullet points that she could then look at and say, I'm going to make 52 videos about these things. So even if you're a brand new agent, you go, well, but I'm new and I've only sold 4 homes, 4 more than the new agent that just got licensed. 4 more than the 20% of agents that haven't gotten licensed yet that are going to be 20% of the sales in the next 2 years. They have to land somewhere. Think about it. You have to get out there. So last thing I'm going to share with you guys, just some notes that I took. Definitely go to Eric Worre's event. You have to go. They are amazing. And it's $97. I think I paid like $500. Number 2 is understand your personality style, because the best leader is the self-aware leader. Know where your gaps are, and then bring in people from your organization to fill those gaps. I'm not a galvanizer. I'm not a rah-rah person. And I have rah-rah people on my team. I found those people, and now they do the rah-rah for us in our organization because they thrive. They want to be on stage. And I call them and go, do you want to be on stage? Go be on stage. That is what leaders do. When I started 4 years ago, Jay Kinder had a Honey Badger group, and 1 day a week we did Mentor Wednesdays. Now we have 25 different mentorship groups going on every single week because leaders build leaders, build leaders, build leaders. I don't have to do them anymore. I did them for 2.5 years straight, every Friday at 11 for an hour. I'm not doing it anymore. I come in now and help my leaders grow, and I visit their groups because it can't be all on me. The last thing is, Veronica said, dare to be rare. And I love that. But how do you want to be remembered is what she said. So I would give you guys a final exercise, and I would write your eulogy. I know it sounds weird, but how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered? He was scared to lead. She never took the chance. She got worried about rejection. Or would you say, we did this, and I inspired people and I helped people. So that's all I have today, Carlos. You can take it back over, buddy, but I hope that helped.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Let's give it for all the speakers, guys. Listen, this replay will be emailed to you. Go back through it again, because this was a lot of fire very, very quickly. So you want to make sure you go through it. Congratulations for being here. Congratulations for believing in yourself. Congratulations for saying, yes, I'm going to build a massive organization in 2024. And make sure you take up Eric on this offer. I mean, so many people have paid hundreds of dollars to attend this conference. My life changed because I remember telling Rosemary, my wife, when I went to my first GoPro, I was like, if they can do it, like, just come on, like, I can do it. You're going to see so many people bring value and empower you over and over that you're going to realize this is possible for you, and you're going to get the work done, because that's what it's going to take. You have to put in the work. So thank you for being here. Congratulations. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And that's our program for today. Let's crush it out there. Take care.